So first off, I just wrote an article, and obviously the GTX 1080 has just released. All right, great card, great performance. Also supposed to have asynchronous compute support. So I'm looking at it, and finally WCCF comes out with an article explaining somebody who benchmarked the asynchronous support, and I'm thinking, all right, this is it. Let's see what this is going to do. I mean, personally, asynchronous support looks like the future for gaming. So we get to the benchmarks, and it's like, well, it did better than Maxwell, but there's still performance drops from DirectX 12 to DirectX 11. It's like, wait, why? You got asynchronous compute and DirectX 12. You shouldn't be dropping. And so it became abundantly clear to me that NVIDIA has done amazing things with their architecture. The fact that their DirectX 11 performance stays on par with DirectX 12 is fantastic. But quit telling me that you support asynchronous compute engines if you're not getting better performance. That is not supporting. Yeah, it may be a workaround to be better than what Maxwell was doing, but essentially what the WCCF article talks about is it's saying that it does kind of a preemption thing with these extra. It's really hard to explain. It's kind of heavy, and even I have trouble remembering the terms. But rather than having what sounds like a true hardware level asynchronous support that like AMD has, it's kind of a tricky workaround. And I don't think that's a bad thing in and of itself. But if that's what it is, then tell us that's what it is, because that's what it looks like it is. I had to quote Inigo Montoya. It's like, you keep saying that. I do not think it means what you think it means. It just, bugging the daylights out of me. And I think the thing that irritates me the most about it, is the fact that if asynchronous compute is good, and it just needs to be worked on a little bit more, and it's the future for gaming, then NVIDIA's muddying the waters for game developers who aren't sure whether they want to put effort into it, and we could be missing out on the future of gaming. Now, I highly doubt that's actually going to happen, but it still could slow things down. It definitely muddies the water. I'm sure Polaris will fix a lot of that if we still have these great performance increases like the Fury had. But just quit the marketing hype. We've got politicians lying to us, trying to get elected. We don't need our hardware companies doing it. And here's the thing, NVIDIA. The 1080 is phenomenal. It's great. It's a great card. You don't need to hype it up. It is doing just fine. Even if you don't have full async compute, just tell us. Because the 1080 is doing great. There's nothing wrong with it. Got that off my chest. And then I'm trying to figure out if I want to overload myself, because I have been dealing with, I've got an FX 9590 and two R9 290s in my main system. If anybody hasn't guessed, that can run really high. And so I'm trying to figure out if I should do a full-on fan testing with a case. The Thermaltake has the I believe it's the X71, might be the V71 Extreme case. Has the perfect fan setup, and I'm debating asking them to see if I can get a review sample to test multiple airflow configurations and see just how much of a difference that makes on temperatures, running games. I'd probably just run Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's been pretty good for running a temperature test like that. Tell me what you think. If you think it's worth the trouble, I will go through it, and I will try, because I know it's going to make me super busy, and I've already got 2 other things coming in and 1 more review I got to finish, and I've probably got too much going on. But I want to answer this airflow temperature question. I really think 200 millimeter fans are the way to go, but I'd have to test it to really know if it's actually worth the cost. And so, yeah, if you think it sounds interesting, let me know in the comments, because if I get any kind of support, I'd do it in a heartbeat.